They're done.
Sheeby guys.
No sheebies. Where the fuck is it? Here's your delivery. If you out of
Did you like the one with the cups or without the cups?
I don't mind the cups.
I didn't mind them. I didn't think they were distracting. The guy that did the design, he sent it back with the cups.
Teacups.
The teacups. Yeah, you barely see him, but like
They're quaint.
they're quaint. Yeah, it's there.
So Dylan's already working on the
logo.
sweet tea thing, and we kind of just I was thinking of like a bubbly kind of font and everything. He was going a little too hardcore because like the sheebies are already quite detailed, so the logo doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, I'm like seeing more like an anime, like how they go like
Yeah.
shit like that. So I found one that I sent to him that he's gonna try to make the sweet tea look like that, and then like just in the morning it will just be like typical,
Yeah,
or whatever. And he has like a sun for the O. It looks pretty cool actually.
Hey.
Is this on? Oh, it's recording.
It's recording.
Oh shit! Whatever.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, my guy, loud and clear in my ear. Is that fucked?
I literally heard it, and it just like almost like someone just used a remote control to turn off the audio in my headphones.
Oh, is somebody fucking with you?
I've had these headphones for I don't know since college, and I haven't used them. And I pulled them out today, and they decided to take their last bow. So they're just like, "I'm sorry, buddy."
Birdie nerd.
Birdie nerd.
Oh my god, birdie nerd. Thing's on.
I don't think it makes a difference, but
Oh,
sure.
Jesus, I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Well, we're gonna find out at the end of this.
We'll find out. No, I think it was recording because like I got the time code up there going, so I would assume that it's going and recording. But
Stupid little Zoom thing.
hey, man,
Zoom. Remember the Mazda commercial? I fuck
Yeah,
hard
zoom,
with that
zoom,
commercial.
zoom,
Somebody
zoom,
just wrote this, like, just did not give a fuck.
I liked
Zoom,
it.
zoom. It sent it to Mazda and made millions.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, he's like
zoom,
fucking
zoom,
Charlie
zoom.
Sheen from 2.5 Men, who just
Oh
writes
my
little
God.
jingles and makes bank and lives in Malibu.
I loved that show, like
was a
low
good
key.
show, yeah.
It was just funny, like just watching it before all the. I don't even remember what happened with Charlie Sheen.
He started like drinking tiger blood and shit or whatever the fuck. So
Ooh.
remember? No, not real life. It was just those were like the quotes he was making. Yeah, no, dude, that was funny as shit. Why is this getting louder?
I don't know.
Oh, it's that. She's sizzling over there. She's making
Sizzle.
eggs.
Sizzle.
Yeah, but it's picking up all the sizzle.
Sizzle. Really?
I think I hear it more. That's all right. We'll just keep going.
I don't hear anything.
That's all right. What was the anime you were talking about? It sounded glorious.
So like the song when I was talking about when I was looking at for is it's called Escaflowne. And it's this guy that gets into like this like not like a robot but like a machine.
Escaflowne?
Escaflowne.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not starting off great.
Well, no, it's just like the music was like very like Escaflowne. It's like very it's very like medieval like choir and like very angelic and shit.
Yeah.
I can't remember the theme of it and all, but like it's just overall this one guy has this like let's just call it a robot, but not really. But like has a cape and a sword, and once he gets into it, he can fight all those different people because that's how they fight. They don't fight like on the ground. They have those robots and they get inside of them and they learn how to manipulate them and fight in them so they can go to war.
Yeah.
So I think there's a war going on. So the only reason I thought about it because when I looked at him, I said Dee Dee Vader, and I was just like, what would be a good song for him? And then I thought about that anime.
Dee Dee Vader?
Yeah.
I don't know Dee Dee Vader.
Well,
See another anime?
No, Forrest is called Dee Dee Brown.
Oh, the dog.
Forrest is called Dee Dee Brown. That's his nickname. And so it's like if there's ever like anything else that like we call him, it's always Dee Dee and then whatever we call him.
Oh.
So it's just like that's essentially like he takes on a different name.
So just Dee Dee whatever.
Dee Dee whatever.
So he's pissing you off like Dee Dee fuckface.
You know?
That's what my grandma, like Jiba would say or something. Come here, you little shits.
But it was funny.
Fuckface.
It was funny yesterday we went out because every time when he comes, when you're eating, he always comes and begs. Back home, we call it coco.
Coco.
So like, but she thought it meant something like mean because I always said it to him. So I was in the car.
How did you say it though? Did you say it like
No, when he comes over, when
Is that how he does it?
No.
What the fuck? He even did a little
yeah
shit.
I'm like, Coco. Like
Coco.
every time she's eating, he comes. Like,
You're like, you just cast a spell on him. What'd you fucking do? Take it back.
But like we were in the car, and I know what I was doing, and she was just like, Coco. I'm just like, what did you just say? She's like, well, what does it mean? I'm just like, it means like you're begging for food. Stop doing that. Like that's like if I were to find a literal translation, that's what it means. It's just like,
and is that it doesn't sound like it's a word.
It's
not a French word, is it?
No,
it's just
not.
like
It's like a word.
What would you call that? It's not a saying. It's like a.
It is much of a saying in a sense because of the meaning that's embedded in it.
Yeah.
That one word has like a big old signification. But like overall, I would say it's just like a slang that we use back home just to describe someone that's like, instead of saying, "Oh, you're a beggar," it's like, "Oh, coco," you know what I mean? And it's like, "Oh, you're always asking for people's shit, coco," you know? It's like another word like I was telling her, "gau," which means like someone like, say for instance, someone didn't know like about the new, like Kanye West shoe that just came out. Yeah. And like he just was like, "Oh, what are those?" Like, I thought they go. So it means like, "Oh, you don't know anything about this, dude. You're so late on the game or whatever." It's like that's the term we use.
And go.
Go.
I
And
like I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, go is just like, and it's funny because like you would go to France now, and like a lot of the way that people used to speak French, now they know our terminologies. So like when we're speaking, they can pick up on it now. And so it's been interesting to see how, African culture has been now, I don't want to say embraced, but like imposed itself on, the actual French speaking people, and to a degree where like over there, they're going through a very much so the same thing that, we're going through in terms of like, they don't like when, Africans migrate over there and to find opportunities. Well, the issue with that is they're like, well, they're taking over our neighborhoods, doing what they do home back here, and like we're not having a sense of us being in France anymore. It feels like we're in a third world country.
Sure.
And I think that began when Trump was running for election, all that shit. So that was happening then. And so my buddy...
Was it during Trump or was it during the refugee thing?
No, it was during Trump.
Because the refugee thing was when everyone was mass exodus into Europe, and that's where people were having issues, and that's where apparently there's like 9 places or something in France where you can't go because it's like Muslim or something like that. Yeah,
I think that's been ongoing ever since the attacks on France when it happened. I think it was back in 2015.
Yeah, they built a wall around the Eiffel Tower, actually. I believe it's a glass. I'm telling you, bro, I'll Google it right now.
I didn't see a glass wall.
When were you there?
2018, 2017.
Wall around Eiffel.
Yeah, glass wall. I mean, maybe they must put it on.
It's like bomb proof or something.
Man, I don't decide that I was on. I have to go back, man.
I want to go over there eventually. I want to go all over Europe. Check out stuff.
Like I was there, but like it was so in passing. Like I was like trying to meet up with a friend. Okay, yeah,
it might have happened just last year, man. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I didn't see that, but then again, I did see it from afar. I didn't get that close, but you may be right. But like when we were when I was in France recently, and I was with like my best bud from Ivory Coast, Michael, and he was telling me, he's like, dude, the cops here give a shit, man. He's just
don't give a shit, or
they said they gave them a lot of shit. Because me, for instance,
I hear they give Americans just shit.
Americans,
my mom was just over there like last year, and
yeah,
some of it was cool, some of it, I guess the same as anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like the Americans, the type of shit that we get when we go there is like, oh, you Americans, you think that this and that, and like you don't speak French. That's the type of shit we get. The being black. Because to me, that's the stigma that I was dealing. So I was getting fucked on both ends. Because like when I go there, people seem like, oh, they obviously know I'm African, you know. But then they see me with all these white people speaking English, and then they're confused. Like, wait, is he American? Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I had a little bit of that going on, just like a little bit of scrutiny when I was walking around, can see. But then they realized they hear me speak. It's like, oh wait, he's American. Oh shit, well, leave him alone. But it's just funny to see.
So they were just gonna fuck with you if you were from Africa.
Well, yeah, because like a lot of times, like, you know, cops, because like that sentiment of like, oh, I don't want to say Frenchism, but like just being French, you know, they feel like France doesn't have much of an identity, and now it's getting overran. And I'm just like, dude, you brought that shit on yourself, because when you started the triangular commerce back in God knows fuck when.
What's that about?
It's about like the route that they took from France when they were trading slaves, going from one place to another and coming through and going back to France, and they made a triangle. In French, it's called le triangle commercial, and I have no freaking clue how I remember this, because that's like back when I was like, I don't want to say like preschool, but like elementary. No, not elementary.
Actually,
like
not Dusty.
Yeah, like, but like back when I was like, I don't know, high school or whatever, but you learned that sort of shit. So like to me, it's like, well, why are you mad when like you went to all these different countries, poured your culture into them, and then we're happy when you're making all this money, but now you have people coming to your country wanting to make an opportunity, and then now you're bitching about it. To me, it's just like, you opened the floodgates. This is just one of the repercussions of what you've done. You know what I mean? But then also there's the whole idea of like, you know, because now the world is open, you know? If you got a little bit of money, you can go anywhere. Now, I will admit that some of them, you know, might be going there illegally, and that is the part where I have an issue. And I'm like, well, if you decide to forego the legal way of going somewhere, then at that point, you're putting yourself in harm's way.
Yeah.
Now, some people will say, well, it doesn't warrant people treating them, you know, differently, but some others might argue that it does, because some people will say that it does because you didn't, you know, go by the rules. So if you didn't go by the rules, why should we treat you fairly? You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of just one of that.
I mean, it's just, it's opinion though, and you can't change that.
Yeah.
You know, you can, I guess, alter how you're perceived by acting a certain way, but you know, this is who they are when they come in. But I do feel it is the responsibility of the immigrant to integrate. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? So like, don't take over a city block and only speak they speak French, so that's different, but you know, speak a different language, start opening shops with your native language and all that stuff, because that's not how you integrate. That's not how you become part of the country you escape to. You know what I mean? We have that here, where like blocks are just like taken up and like, you know, like Little Mexico, or what do you call it, Little Chinatown, whatever, little fucking whatever, you know, there's Kazakhstan and shit over on Nolensville, which I'm like, everyone's just kind of huddling together instead of like, you know, getting downtown, maybe opening a shop down there that would blow people's minds or some stuff like that. But if everyone's pretty just, it could be because they're shy. I don't fucking know. You know, just chilling with themselves. Okay, so when you brought up an interesting point, like, because you said, like, to you, is there anything? Are you viewing Little Chinatown, Little Kurdistan, and Little Africa differently, or like is one of them cooler than the others? Because everyone's used to the idea of Chinatown to the point that Chinatown has become part of any major city. True, which I haven't really been to like a China. I think I've been to one down in D.C. or something like that, visiting my uncle. But like I don't see any as better as the other. Yeah. But like again, if you're trying to integrate and become a citizen of the country you're going to, you need to speak the language. You need to, you know, work with everyone else. It's kind of like your dad sent you over here. Like you could have went to an all-black school, but that's not the way the world is over here. You know, so to succeed, you need to, you know, put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Yeah, and it takes that 100%. No, that's one thing. Like, I understand that, you know, when people go to a different country, it may be hard, so they create things so they can be more together and have a sense of home. Yeah. So I think all those things get created just to mimic that sense of home, because sometimes the realities of where they move to can be overbearing. And so to have that sort of place where you can go to, where you can maybe have food from back home or have the vibe from back home, you know, that very much so I think that's where it comes from. Yeah. But then some people just go over the top because like I've told Courtney, like back home, like in Ivory Coast, there's like spots where like you'll see ladies, like there's a car driving around, but like a lady on the side of the road, she's, you know, grilling bananas and like, you know, making peanut, like, you know, roasted peanuts, and then they sell it. You know, that's normal for us back home. But in France, that's not normal. So like stuff like that to me is taking it over the top to the point like, okay, you got an opportunity to go there.
why would you push it further? You know what I mean? Like doing that to me is like not necessarily, I don't want to say disrespecting that culture, but to some it may be. And
to bring in the little street cards,
the little street cards and street stands
to I guess a first world country.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it's not the same. They may, I mean, of course, you may have places where like you have strips where you can just walk, but in France, honestly, everywhere is fair game in terms of a street. I mean, you may be walking and a car just comes through. In Europe in general, it's not like
roads are all
it's
weird.
not like, oh, this is where the road is and this is where people was like, nah, motherfucker. Cars can go here
just
too.
Ancient roads, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you have that, but then you have a lady that's on the side of the road that may be, selling whatever. And it's just like, well, this is not back home. This is a different country. That's a part to me that's I've always never really understood. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is what, I don't want to say like slows down the movement, but overall there's other things involved with that as well. But I don't even know how we started talking about that, but like it's interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, even coming down here, man, when I first saw food trucks, we don't have any back home.
That's true.
Like a small town up north or whatever.
That's true, because you are from a small ass town, because you're near Buffalo, yeah?
No, that's completely the other side of the state. So Buffalo's here. We're all the way to the east, Albany area.
What did I meet your dad?
Albany,
sorry, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, 3 hours, 3-ish hours north of the city.
Yeah, Albany, that's what I thought. Okay. Because Albany, I mean, it was a quaint little town. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it's cool.
I mean, I think they call it the Tri-City area. Mm-hmm. So like Albany, Troy, Schenectady. So you were in like that area. But we're like 40 minutes north, like Mechanicville. It's like just on the Hudson River, kind of in a bowl. Mm-hmm. Tiny town. Didn't do shit.
I thought you said like Mechanicville, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how dangerous is it? I don't know. Like,
it's not dangerous at all.
Didn't you say it's a shithole or something?
No, Schenectady's kind of a shithole. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Arbor Hill in Albany is not good. But that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. Again, you don't really think about like even when I came down here and I saw like graffiti and like I heard there was gangs in Nashville and I was like, what? In country town? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? Who? I want to meet them. Do they wear cowboy hats?
And that's probably got some of those too. Shit.
Probably, damn. Because I always thought like the city is like major cities, New York, LA, Chicago had those fucking things, but like they're everywhere and they're around the world too. Mm-hmm. It was crazy learning that from like Jaffe Judah when he came on the podcast, the second one, I think, when he was talking about the history of like the Bloods and the Crips and how they the Crips started as like a community watch to like look after each other, So, and then the Bloods kind of, I guess, broke off and were more business oriented or something like that. But it's just kind of interesting how like, what do they call it? The road to good intentions.
Yeah, always like deviates towards something. Yeah.
Yeah, or like it's some devil thing. I forget. I forget that saying.
I don't know the saying.
Yeah, I'll look it up later. But yeah, I just find that interesting.
Well, like it's very in line with 7 Deadly Sins. Even like like how in that anime it says like like you see how like someone's became bad, but it was because like I don't know, like that show it tells you like, okay, you see the bad guy, but then you look at all that happened and you see the intentions and how he went from being
why he's doing
from being good to bad. So
which I always love stories like that.
Yeah,
dude. When you can relate, but you're like you still gotta die.
Yeah, which is like I feel like it's very similar to like Bloods and Crips. It probably started with that intent of community, but then like they're like, oh, we can make money. Yeah. I feel like to me it's probably money. Someone like got that urge of power and was just like, maybe, and then next thing you know, you got rivalry and all that.
Power corrupts, man.
Yeah,
it's always like corrupt. I suppose depends on who the person is. Mm-hmm. But like if people are like, oh, you're the neighborhood watch, we'll listen to you. Yeah, then like then start flexing.
Yeah, it went from neighborhood watch to like I'm the neighborhood watch. Yeah. It wasn't like we're neighborhood watch.
I wonder if it started like the mafia did, where like they were paying. After a while, they were paying the Crips, dues and for protection, and then it just kind of went from there, just like a mafia thing or whatever.
Maybe I feel like maybe some businesses in some areas, because I can't remember what show it was, but like Shameless, or like Carl starts like he's like, hey, I know these guys trying to steal money from you. Me and my guy will like run them away, but you got to pay us a cut.
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean? So just coming through and just like whatever, and then that's probably how it started, or they'll probably be the one like. Putting the like starting shit up. It's like, hey, we know it comes from that other group. If those guys keep coming, we'll protect you. But it comes from inside. It comes from the same group. So like they're actually playing the system. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like that happens as well, or happened. You know, and that led to what we have now. But like I always say, I can't remember what conversation we were talking about, but like Courtney and I, but it was about the yin and the yang, and how like, you know, like there's always balance. You know, it's not like, as much as people don't want to see evil and all, there's always going to be evil, there's always going to be good, and there's always about a balance, because without one you can't have the other.
Yeah.
You know, because if something, like if good is not there, then what is bad? You know what I mean? It's just like one defines the other per character. So even just in the definition, you kind of just get that sense of like, okay, you know, like you need those two together.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was fascinating.
Darkness to have light.
Yeah, you know,
Kind of weird how that works, but like,
you know what I mean.
It's the only way it can be.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, just funny how like, you know, simple, you know, metaphors like that. Because like, I don't know if you've seen like these past few. I think yesterday, or the day before yesterday, it was like we kept getting like these full moons, but like, it was just so bright outside. Dude, I'll be outside, I'm smoking, I'm just like, I see everything in this yard. I'm like, ain't nothing surprising me today. But it's just like seeing the streaks of light come into the window.
I was just imagining like a homeless guy in the corner or something. Like, oh fuck, he sees me today.
Damn it,
my guy, you need some cigarettes?
I don't know. I may have said it in this podcast, but like every time I come here and I turn off a light, I see that character from a Death Note right in this corner.
Ooh, fuck that.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about. Fuck that.
Like right in this corner, I'm just like,
damn, that's the last thing I want to see in the corner, dude.
Chills.
Oh.
And I see the eyes.
What's his
first.
name too? You remember his name? It was something weird.
Ukiura. No.
The main guy's name is Light.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's been so long since I watched it.
They had a Real People version of it on Netflix.
Yeah, that
was all right.
The only thing that got me from the Real People version is how close to reality that fictitious.
Willem Dafoe, I think, did his
yeah,
voice.
man. I looked at him just like, dude, he looks like the real shit. I'm like,
I just thought it was interesting that he just fucked off the entire show. You know, he's just watching it unfold, which I'm like, that's very interesting. Because honestly, like, you know, it's probably like what the devil does. It's probably just like, you know, trips somebody and watches human emotion and nature just take hold.
He's like, what are you gonna do this time? What are you gonna do?
Taking bets with the other demons.
He's like, I bet he's gonna do this. There was a show that Courtney and I were watching. Had like another take on vampires and werewolves and shit. No, not that. The one we just started watching recently, where they're in college and they're Silverback and
Silverback.
Yeah, and they're part of that society in college, and they. It was on Netflix. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It started off as I started watching, just like, I don't know, but then got into it, and it was cool. I just feel like now the whole vampires and
dude, I was about to say, I think we need a break from that shit.
Yeah, vampires and werewolves.
Just give us a minute, guys.
Yeah, just kind of we need a clean slate on those. I mean, dude. Like, yes, it's interesting to watch, but overall, it's just The Order. That's what it was called. It was pretty cool. You know, just watching that, I'm just like, okay, that was interesting. You know, just like kind of just figure out the story behind it, and I thought it was interesting. I liked it. So if you want to check it out. So The Order was cool. Another show that I started watching because we have Xfinity Flex, which is like the box, and it has Peacock. You know, I don't know if you've probably seen commercials on YouTube watching videos about Peacock, but it's this new network that NBC started just to promote, you know, because with all the games happening now, they're moving.
Like its own Netflix.
Yeah.
All the stations are starting to do that.
Yeah.
I guess because I did like an extra thing for I think it was an ABC Access show, which is like their version of Netflix or whatever. It was, the fuck was it called? It was like not Once Upon a Time. I don't remember. I was some extra in there, and it basically took like fairy tales but made them modern. So like the one I was a part of was like, was it like Cinderella or something? And there's like the evil step sisters, but they were like twin step brothers and stuff. And it was actually pretty interesting. It was pretty cool. I met one of the guys. His name was Chris. Wanted to try featuring him on like an EDM track.
Oh damn!
But he's getting pretty big. He's go in LA, New York, whatever, going all over the place. Shouts to you, my guy. Pretty cool kid.
But Once Upon a Time, actually, I think I was trying to watch that in college, and I'm just like, oh, this would be a good show I'd be interested in. And then I never finished. I never even started.
Yeah, it's gotta hook me at least within the first episode, but then give me a reason to keep watching it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I just give up on fucking like Shameless, dude. I just kind of after I got up to like season 5 or whatever, I was just kind of done with it.
Oh, dude. I think you just needed a break, and then going back, you'd be like, "Oh, dude."
I might get back into it. I don't know. I've been researching just other stuff I've been interested in more lately. You know, like watches or bushcrafting and shit like that. So
see, like that's the thing that like I don't.
Oh my god, dude! I found the fucking coolest watch last night. It's a Seiko. It's from the '90s. And
how much it costs?
Nothing. It's like $200. It's a quartz watch. It's fucking cheapish. That's what I'm saying, bro. It looks like a fucking ship. What? It's called the Age of Discovery. And it looks like Luffy's watch. It looks like a fucking pirate's watch. Dude. And there's a fucking sail. There's a ship on the back of it too, dude.
on the back,
like underneath it and stuff.
Shit.
You know? I lost my mind. I kept looking up versions of it. They're cheap as I mean, I haven't found one over $500, so definitely like because it's quartz.
See, we went from 200 to 500, guys.
Dude, it is like a captain's watch. It's so fucking cool. Let me find it real quick. It's a Seiko.
Is it waterproof? Because when I get my kayaks, I'm taking on there and be like, I'm the sailor of the ship.
I have no idea. Perpetual calendar, dude. The thing like is fucking cool, and it has like different, just fucking shit it does. Is this it? I want to see like more pictures of it though.
Show me pictures. Ooh,
that's fucking Luffy's watch, bro.
That's right around my alley. I like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I really like the band.
Is there more pictures in there?
9. It's only showing that one guy. Dude, that one's lit. Oh, man.
They have different versions of it. They have like a chronograph version. I like the perpetual calendar because there's like an extra hand in there, and they all move around. They have like something called they're dancing knives or something they call it, or dancing. What do you call those hands?
Yeah.
And you press some buttons, and like all of them move around and stuff. And I'm like, damn, dude, that's what Luffy would have for Zoro when he fucked up somebody.
Now, do they all move around? Like, is it just for show or like, dude, like
not for show, but like because they all move around because they do. It's like day, date, and month. Excuse me. So like you can see right there, that red tip right there is part of the something else. It's not part of the. I don't fucking know. I just looked at it and I was like, damn, dude, it looks like a fucking like a wheel to a ship, and I was just like, it looks like One Piece to me.
Yeah, it's a hot ass watch.
I was like, damn, what if it is a watch? What if the One Piece is the watch?
Maybe it is.
It's like,
and then Luffy just wears it.
Who's the main? Who's the main guy?
Roger?
Roger D. Goldie Roger.
Goldie Roger, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Goldie Roger, fucking shit up, man.
But the show that I was referring to earlier is on Peacock. It's called Not and Sought. And it's weird because like it's a show about role reversal. How they call it Africa with a P. Africa.
Weird.
For Africa, but that's just a fictitious. But like in that show, Africa took over the world, and so most of the population is ran by black people.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah. Wakanda forever, yeah. But you get that sense, but then like so Africans or black people are the upper community, I guess, and the white people in the show live in the poor neighborhood being maids and shit. And I was just like,
It's interesting.
You know what I mean? So like I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, I wonder how many people watch this, and if the people that watch it are only black people. You know what I mean? Because maybe watching it, you're like, I'm only started one episode, yeah. And in the first episode, these guys are kind of just hanging out. I think this kid's trying to go to it's called Main Point, which is I guess is like an academy and all for the police force. And so this white kid, but it's mostly for black people, and it's like weird that he got accepted. So like his friend is just like, oh, you're gonna go there? Really? He's like, yeah, I gotta try it. And I've tried all my life to get in and whatever. Cool. Well, the cops bust the party that they're at because they were drifting and shit. They're walking away, and one of his buddies is like, because they're just walking away doing nothing, and the black cops come through and just, oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? He's like, oh, we're just walking, we're just playing the ball. And he's like, well, where's your ball if you were playing it? It's like, oh, you must have left it when y'all guys showed up, and they were kind of walking away. It's like, hands on the car, puts the dudes in the car and all, and one of them was just like, no, fuck this, y'all guys always gives us shit, yada yada, starts talking back to the cops, and then his buddy comes over trying to separate shit and then gets smacked in the face, literally. Almost like cracked his skull open, on the ground, starts bleeding, and then big old fight starts and whatnot. But this is white kid that just got beat up, put on the ground. And then on the news, you see like, oh yeah, the cops had to protect himself. And I'm just like,
It's interesting. That's the Africa thing?
Yeah, the Africa show. It's called Not and Sot. It's on Peacock TV.
Probably. I mean, whenever they do that, it's usually like if Nazi Germany took over. So it's just interesting seeing it from a different country, country's perspective.
Yeah,
I guess.
There's another one about like Nazis, like Germany, like if like Hitler had won the war.
Yeah,
and it's on Amazon as well. I was supposed to start watching that, but it's just not enough time.
Yeah,
it's just like now, like I very much so like if I'm not on this freaking computer editing something, I'm like either researching something that's like, okay, what I'm gonna do with the house in terms of, okay, I want to add this, I want to add that, or I'm like filming something on my phone to post on Instagram, which I like doing, like these cooking reels, and those have honestly been fun to do. And cooking is probably the one time that when I do it, I'm just like, okay, I'm digging this, okay, how can I do this? What camera movement? And just using a phone to try to create something that's like cinematic and whatnot. And this lady, this girl, Charlotte, she wrote this book, one that's in the corner. It's called One Pot Keto Cooking. It's like clean food eatings. And that's what we've been doing this whole time. Cool. And so every time we cook those, I'll like do a reel and then tag her. And dude, the reels that I would make would be like, 200 people viewing, whatever. And then when she saw it, pulled it on her Instagram, dude, 5,000 views. I'm just like, okay, shit, that's cool. But I won't do it all the time just because I'm like, I don't want her to think I'm just doing it just to get the views, because sometimes like I just do it and post it, I won't tag her.
Sure.
But like I've been enjoying doing those little reels and whatnot, and anything that kind of just, because sometimes picking up a camera, I'm just like, I don't want to pick up a camera today. I'm like, I don't want to pick up a camera. They'll have my phone just doing stuff. But it's just a few shows that I kind of just want to sit down and watch. Like Ray Donovan's one of them because it's on Peacock.
Ray Donovan's interesting. I think I saw season 1.
Yeah,
it's interesting because it's he like if an NFL player fucks up, he cleans it up. Like I killed this hooker. Like he cleans it up.
Damn.
It's like that.
That probably is a show I would enjoy. There's 7 seasons.
Holy shit! Really?
And all of them are on Peacock.
7 fucking seasons? Damn.
I saw that. I'm just like, Peacock is like, y'all guys need to start endorsing us, man. Put me out there, man. I'll go and get a sponsor, man. I'll be a Peacock sponsor. Because, like, for me, it's just like, yes, because, like, we switched from AT&T because in our area, AT&T sucks. We can't increase our speed to, say, for instance.
Yeah, Google Fiber need to fucking get
Google Fiber needs to hurry the hell up, man.
For real, dude.
But, like, it seems like I
think they're only doing, like, downtown right now, though.
Yeah. Unless you're in a major city like Portland or LA and whatnot, where like they have the reasoning to make that on a wider scale.
Well, we're still in like the beta phases. I think like Nashville's technically a beta city for testing and everything. And like you can type in like your what do you call it, zip code or whatever, and they tell you like if it's there or not, or if it's going to be or whatever the hell. Like we're technically down where I am. Technically downtown.
You guys will probably get fiber eventually, way earlier than
I'm sure maybe the COVID thing chilled everything the fuck out. But I still see construction like going on everywhere. Like Belmont hasn't fucking stopped at all. They're like, we're gonna take advantage of this fucking opportunity.
I thought it was so crazy. I'm just like, okay, well, and even in March and all, construction never really stopped. It was just viewed as one of those essential businesses, had to keep going.
Well, they're outside.
So I was just like, even like you saw on the way here, like the construction that I told you
about, doing the roads and stuff right now.
Yeah, all those houses, they weren't there. The very first time you came here, none of that was there. And so like just seeing that there now, I'm just like, holy crap. It's good and bad because it's more traffic in this area because it's like,
it could increase the value of your home.
And that's the one thing that I'm excited about. I'm just like, okay, well, this can literally shoot up like real good and within like
fucking really good.
Yeah, real good. I'm just like only been in this house a year and already going to be like, going straight up.
If it goes up like $50K or something.
It's like, yeah, in 2 years,
man, we going to Cabo.
That's right. Get on the private jet to Cabo. $50,000 is like the price of fuel only.
That's the price for one trip.
One trip, just one way.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, how do I make the other $50K to go back?
Oh shit, we can't get back.
I don't know if I'd be like pissed off about being stuck in Cabo. Even though Cabo is very touristy, I'd probably be all right. It was funny. I was on the phone and I was like at work, and this lady called and I was Dude, 48 minutes trying to hype this lady and all, but it was slow. So I honestly didn't care. If it's very slow, I'm just like, I don't mind being on the phone with you, help you out. Well, this lady was having the hardest time. Like, she's like, I need my account set up. Nothing's been set up. It's all messed up. Every now and then I'll do that with someone if I know that they really need help. Like an old Asian lady, and Asians are always the ones that call in. And it's like, oh, no, Asians are fine. They like usually have their things set up. It's like Latino women and men, they're the one that have the issues, and I have to stay on the phone with them for a while.
Speaking Spanish and shit.
Well, that's the thing. So like we were talking, and it was like this guy. He was trying to access. All he's trying to do is add his bank account. Yeah. Well, he's not able to get the email, whatever. And I'm like, figured out there's something on our end that we didn't do, fix it, whatever. And then he goes to the website for Postmates and it pulls up DoorDash. I'm just like, what?
What a DoorDash by Postmates.com.
I'm just like,
the fuck with
what's going on? I'm just like, so I posted in our group and it's like, yo, this guy I just gave him the Postmates password website, and he just pulled up. He said the page pulled up as DoorDash, and everyone had the confused Nick like face, the guy that's like, huh? Mm-hmm. Like, because no one really understood what's going on. Figured it out, but like throughout the process, when I was giving him the website, I'm like, okay, well, to make sure that he knows what I'm saying, I'm just going to say it in Spanish. But he picked up that I spoke Spanish because of how I said his name.
Sure.
Because his name is Manuel, but I said Manuel. Yeah. I'm just like, Manuel. He's just like, oh, ¿hablas español? I'm just like, sí, un poco, pero por el trabajo no. Porque no conozco las policías y por eso no hablo. He's like, okay, I get it. And so I'm just like, okay.
What was that? They speak a little at work or something?
Yeah, so I'm like, I can speak a little, but because I'm not familiar with the policies of work, I just choose not to.
I heard the trabajo. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I just choose not to, but overall, but he got it. But over time, as he was getting frustrated, he spoke more and more Spanish. Yeah. It was just interesting that he was speaking in Spanish. I'm just like, and I'm answering back in English. I'm just like, I understand what you're saying. I'm just not going to repeat back in Spanish. One, because I'm also not comfortable like answering back to that degree, but also because, well, for whoever's listening on the on the recordings of work, whatever, they're not being like, okay, what is he saying? You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to get in trouble with that. But I was spelling the whole website in Spanish. I'm like, bueno, por la P, la A, el R, la T, N, E, R, all that stuff. It was just cool because like before, I've been using Duolingo like low key every time I'm working. I'm doing it, the experience, doing it.
How long are you doing it for? Because like, from what my understanding is, like you only need like 2 hours a week to really learn something new. So like that's why I'm only doing it like 15 minutes.
When I looked at my report, it said I did it for an hour and 30 minutes last week, all throughout.
Oh, that's cool.
So like I think I'm just doing it up to the experience level is met, and then maybe some if I'm feeling froggy because I want to get through. But for the most part, I won't go past it.
I've been digging the because they have the circle lessons, but then they also have like the stories and stuff.
I just started doing.
I only just started doing the stories.
Oh yeah, nice.
Because like they chuck in a couple different words in there for you and have like sentences and stuff, which is full sentences, which are like pretty cool. Honestly,
like just from doing this, I'm like, man, what would it take for me to be certified Spanish speaker and use that as a way to make bread? Yeah, because I'm not that far away, man. Like,
dude, Shane's already asking me to write like hooks in Spanish. Yeah, so I'm like, give me another year, man. Maybe.
Yeah. To me, it's just like I'm like, man, like I wouldn't mind like getting a Spanish certification like for like either like translation and all that stuff because it's right up my alley.
It's such a like low key money maker.
Yeah, it is. And so like it'd be stupid for me not to bank on that. And even with the French would probably take me longer than Spanish.
Really?
Yeah.
To be certified?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, just to get familiarized with the rule. I understand it, but like my grammar is better in Spanish than it is in French.
Because of your slang?
No, just because I paid more attention. Because
you grew up speaking French, though. I don't understand.
Well, how much grammar rules do you remember from English?
The ones that like I use, I don't fucking know. Like there's 3 different theirs.
Well, but I'm talking like, okay, well, if you use a pronoun with this and with that, like, do you remember those, like...
Oh, fuck no.
That's what I'm saying.
Write the sentence.
I remember that for Spanish. I'm just like, the words going together.
Well, maybe because you actually learned it later on in life.
Versus I spoke that language all the time, so I know it, And so because of that, I don't care about the rule. You know what I mean?
I suppose I can tell if I am typing something and I'm like, something's kind of wrong, but I might not remember what it is.
Exactly. And that's how it is in French for me, to the point that I'm like, I know this is right. I know this part's wrong, but what the rule is, I don't know. In Spanish, I know the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a because we have like spelling check and all that stuff, and I think is it called Grammarly?
Yeah, Grammarly.
Like can check your
grammar
and
while
all
you're
that
speaking
fucking
and
shit
writing
when you're typing out. I wonder if you can switch that over to like France or something like that.
Maybe
French.
But I mean, like overall, that's just for me. That'd be another, honestly, like that would be a solid gig. You know, just doing that and getting at that avenue, of course. But because to me, I'm like,
you could be a fucking teacher if you wanted to.
Exactly. I mean,
it's probably way better than that. You can actually go to like an office or something.
Yeah, well, I can go wherever the hell I want and teach Spanish. I can go to China and teach Spanish, or
you can go to Korea and teach English and make a bank.
Yeah, like stuff, like little things like that. And so to me, it's just like, but then you get into a school certificate and all. I've been considering going back to school. Like I've been thinking,
for what?
I don't know.
I wouldn't.
I've been thinking about going back. I don't know for what. At first, I was thinking about, maybe I'll do like I didn't want to do like school. I wanted to do like soldering or something technical, like a skill.
Yeah, that's a YouTube, bro. I
you know,
fuck around,
exactly.
Fuck
and that's what I'm just like,
dude, schools are going down, bro.
They are.
Like, we went to me and Dylan went to that. What was it? It was November with the Gary Vee type stuff and like Tony Robbins and all that shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they were saying like 10, 15 years, man, school's everyone's going to be self-taught.
Yeah.
And that's what like companies are looking for too, because like they don't want to have to train somebody after they just went to school.
Yeah.
They just, school kind of just gives you some broad shit, and then they still need to train you in the branch of what you actually learned.
Yeah.
What's the point? A lot of people are just learning that particular thing.
Yeah.
So,
but I think the only thing that's going to
keep
slow
upping their fucking prices too. So the prices are going to go back down when everyone realizes, I don't want to go to school no more. Unless you're being like a doctor, lawyer, or fucking
those
engineer.
are essential. Like you have to go to school for those. But my thing is just like, in order for school to not have the clout that they have, the system that's put in place needs to change. In the sense, like the job requirements need to change. It doesn't have to be like, needs to have a bachelor's degree or like 3 bachelor's degree plus 3.
Well, I think that's what companies are doing. The newer ones are. They're not looking at all that shit. They want to know if you can do the work.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it's just the results. Can you do the job?
Yeah, can you do the job? But like
that's how it is in like music and for production and stuff. You know, you don't write up a resume. You like show me your mix, show me your stuff. Are you dope?
Yeah. Well, I think and that's the thing. It's the same thing with like with touring. It's just like, okay, what tour have you been on? What have you done? It's just like, but it's also like who you know. And our industry is very much creative and very much like, like from people to people. He says, she says, like, okay, well, I know this guy is pretty cool. Check him out. Okay, what are your skills? What do you know how to do? Or what are your mixes? Like you said.
Sure. But like how if you want to like learn soldering, like I said, just do YouTube, man. Like I want to learn how to fillet fish and skin animals and go hunting and stuff. You don't go to school for that. You hire a guide. You know what I mean? And I just kind of, I don't know. School to me, like you going back to school, dude, is the resistance talking.
Well, the only reason I say that is because I've always felt like, because I think I mentioned it too, me wanting to be in international relations from a younger age when I was in, college and community college. International relations, what I was wanting to go for.
In terms of what?
In terms of like a career path.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like international relations, like an ambassador.
It can fall into that as well. Sure. Usually, like it just means like
between like Cote d'Ivoire and America, or just in general.
Just in general, and that because I felt like it was a call for me, just because of the fact I spoke so many languages,
sure.
And because of the background that I have, living in another country, knowing that culture, and living and having the American culture, being somewhere else and being somewhere else and having both of your parents, one being American, another one African. Even though it's just in those two universes, you get a very good sense of people in general because you're exposed to so many different things, and it enables you to understand some stuff that if someone was just born in one place, they wouldn't get, just because you're not open to the world. And so because of that, I've always felt like, that was a calling for me. Mm-hmm. But because going to that first class on international relations, I was just like, fuck this. I don't want to learn this. What do I need to know about this specific thing that happened back in 1480? I'm like, talk to me about international relations, what it's going to take. I was thinking more that they were going to tell me about what the job is versus all those different events in history were example of international relations gone wrong, you know, and I wasn't understanding that. And
I was just reading something, or I was looking up, I'm getting together like some music industry info, like what exactly a publisher does, what exactly a label, manager, yada, yada. And I was watching something about neighboring rights, which is basically the PRO version of the master sound recording. You know how like BMI and ASCAP deal on the songwriter composition side and collect royalties for performances and stuff like that. Yeah. Neighboring rights is basically the master side of that. Apparently the United States doesn't recognize that. They didn't sign the, apparently, I think it was called the Rome Convention in 1961, where the rest of, like, most of Europe, I guess, signed it. Yeah. So, like, whenever a song plays, like in London or something like that, they don't have to pay them neighboring rights stuff or royalties, apparently, and vice versa, because we didn't sign the contract, which is apparently one of the big things in the U.S. where, like, where's that money going to? They just call it like the black box, royalty box. I guess they just kind of
So you're saying that, say Lil Yachty does a song in America and they're playing Lil Yachty in Europe, they don't pay us royalty for that song.
PROs, he gets paid for the composition side of things, but he doesn't get paid for like the sound recording side of things, where apparently in Europe, like, you know, I guess Germany to London or whatever, they pay each other that also. And apparently we didn't do that here is because radio stations were supposedly saying, oh, we're going to go bankrupt if we have to pay out the ass for that stuff. Yeah. You know, PRO, performance rights on the composition side and the master side. Yeah. So, and that's the first time I've heard of it, because I've heard the term neighboring rights before with on Cobalt Publishing's like music website, and they're international, so they would have it in there. But I never really understood what it meant. And like I've been watching these videos on, it's called like the Musicians, what the fuck's it called? Corner? It's a YouTube channel where they really just dumb it down, and I've just been like taking notes on all that stuff because I want to give it all to like the producers on the Upstate and all that, just so it's dumbed down and you understand what you're getting into, you know. And just because I've been trying to figure out, I've been rethinking what the Upstate sound is going to be in terms of like what it is as a company and all that stuff. So like that's why I'm doing all this research to see what we can do and what we can offer and all these things. So but yeah, the whole neighboring rights thing is quite fascinating, and maybe we end up rewriting some stuff, you know, because like that's money that's not going towards the artists, you know, it's just nobody knows where it's going. Yeah, it's probably just going in the, you know,
in the ether.
In the ether, you know.
I just found that just catching.
Yeah, I just found that interesting. But that I think is a international thing, you know, where everyone signed it, because this was back in the 1961, so it would have been like the Beatles times and all that stuff. So, or maybe around the Beatles times, definitely Elvis, whatever the fuck. But you know, Beatles, I guess, weren't making money on neighboring rights in the U.S. apparently. Damn. So that's interesting. Yeah. That's why if you wanted to, you could record in London, and then you can get neighboring, because you have to record the master sound recording in a signature. I forget the word they used. Signature. Some country that signed it, and then you can be part of the neighboring rights thing, unless it's played in the States. So I just found that fucking interesting as shit last night. So I was researching that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting on your.
But that's an example, I would suppose, like, you know, of what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, like to me, like the whole idea of going to film school, like now, like because I found this class like 3 years ago.
I would say no, just do like master.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Now, like there's people that are putting good content out there that rivals school education. Yeah, and it costs a fraction of the price. It may be $600 now,
less than a fraction,
but like you have it for life. So to me, it's just a matter of finding the right one and then just doing the modules. Right now, I have one that honestly, I need to find the time to do it. But like with editing and all that stuff, not saying I don't have time. I just need to fit it somewhere and do it. So that's just the part that I haven't done. But like literally when I started using that module back in 2016, 2017, dude, my game went up. Like I could feel the ascent, you know. I was like growing, like progressing and everything, and then I got to a point where I was just like, okay, I'm cool, I think I'm good for a while, and then you plateau for a little bit. You know, it doesn't grow as much. But after a while, when it comes to filming and camera stuff, there's always something you can learn, but it doesn't come as fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After a while, it's kind of just like, oh, I didn't know that. And it may not just be about like film or whatever. It may just be about camera settings.
You should read this quick book called The Dip. It kind of talks about that, how you're like, you plateau and everything. Yeah. But if it's something you need to push past that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It will go down.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It'll get better if you keep.
And it's all going back to that whole idea of discipline. Like to me, it's like even like I'll wake up in the morning. I don't feel like working out. I'll still go and do a workout, but it's just
beat your inner bitch.
Yeah, it may not be the best workout, but to me, that's not the point. The point is I'm here maintaining that habit. Like even with Duolingo, now I'm just like, oh shit. Like yesterday, I realized like, oh, I didn't do my Duolingo. But the thing is, I did it at midnight. So that's why I like working so late, because I do it. I'm working on it the day before, and then I'll finish my streak, and then it'll take me on to the next day. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't do it. I'm like, oh shit, I did do something. So because I'm working from 4:30 to 1 a.m. in the morning, I get to double dip. So like, I love my schedule. It's just been great for that. But I'm like, damn it, I had it like 12. I have a 12 day streak.
Sure. So
I want to maintain that. So it's just like,
just buy the little diamond things that help you out if you miss a day.
I think I got going. The freeze thing, whatever, every now and then.
That's all I spend my little jewels on, because every now and again I'll miss. Like on Sundays, I always miss it typically, because I usually get all my shit done in the morning. So
to me, like I'll only use the lingots, whatever you want to call it. Is it lingot or lingots?
No idea.
Like those little red rubies that they call in the.
I don't have red rubies. I got the blue jewels.
Why, you got a different version of me?
I guess you got an Android, like fucking psycho serial killer.
Do you have the unlimited?
Did you see? Sorry, I just started sidetracking because Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon were talking about SMS, because Google doesn't have their own version of text apparently, so it's
messages.
It's less. You can be hacked with that apparently, where Apple is much more secure with iMessage because it's their own thing. Yeah. WhatsApp is still way more secure, and goddamn, what's up with my voice? And then there's another thing called Signal, I think it's called, where that's like really encrypted. I think it deletes or like destroys the message after.
Damn.
I think it's free, so.
That's pretty, to me it's just like, the whole security thing, that's been a big thing here. And I remember when, I don't know, I like Androids.
I'm sorry, I was thinking Tim Dillon again. I guess because whenever I'm texting someone who has an Android and that little green bubble pops up and it's just like, oh, you're poor as fuck. This is funny as shit.
I wouldn't say poor as fuck. I just say like, we know what we like, man.
Dude, that shit makes me. We were watching Archer last night. We were knocking off the rest of the tacos, and then like they're in this. It's called 1999 or whatever. It ends up being like a dream or something when because Archer was in a coma for 3 years or whatever. But their ship gets eaten by this big fucking snail thing, and they're like trying to find a way out, and then like this captain who was in there before who got eaten kind of comes in and gets onto the ship and kind of freaks everyone's out, and then like because they smell and they're all beat to shit and everything because they've been in this monster's belly forever, and the mom's just like, can we not go anywhere without being accosted by the homeless? I was like, what the fuck?
Is that a show?
Yeah, Archer, dude, from on the FX.
Archer,
yeah, dude. The mother's probably my favorite character. She says the most fucked up shit.
That's the one like I really need to get into.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I need to get into that. But
apparently Dylan has Amazon Prime. He just doesn't use it.
Oh yeah,
the TV.
Yeah. Prime Video.
I'm like, dude, douchebag. I want to fucking watch Boys. I want to see the Boys. I want to see what happens with fucking Homelander and shit.
Boys.